This is a special edition of Pod With Me. Paranormal Activity. Whether you believe it or not, I sure do now. Our guest brought some video that her home security camera caught on tape. I thought maybe it could have been a prank, but no guys, this is the real deal. And if you want to see the video, it's up on our social media sites. It's up on Instagram on Pod With Me and on Facebook on Pod With Me AJA. You can go right now and check it out, and please comment. Tell us what you think about the video. It's actually real video. It's no joke. And the plot thickens as I get her help with psychic medium Alexis Reyes and her husband, who is a specialist in paranormal activity. We get down to the nitty-gritty on why this is happening to her, and you're not going to believe it. Get ready, because this special episode of the pod starts now.
I found out that there's something there, moving something across the table.
What they did is a little stronger than the average paranormal.
They accused him of killing a man and then driving 20 minutes. He walked in with a big shotgun and he shot and killed her. And then he went to the sister's room and killed her and then turned the gun on himself.
This is a much deeper case. This is a little scary.
Let's go again. Brother Alex, are you ready to pod? Hey, are you all ready to talk? Yeah, here.
Are you ready?
Let's go. Let's get a sound check.
Mel, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
All right. Literally, as we were going to start taping this podcast, the computer fell off my lap, and hit a big glass of Coke, fell on the floor.
And hit my flip-flops.
All right. Let's just say it was just an accident, not an entity trying to stop us from doing this podcast. So Mel's here. If you guys remember, she's from My Son Wears Makeup. How's Landon, by the way?
He's doing really well.
But that's not why we're here. We're here because there's a situation going on with Mel. And, I've watched Poltergeist. I've watched all these scary movies. And we've all been, scared about them and all that. And Mel gets over here with some story that she has your camera, right? Security camera?
Yeah, I have a Nest camera set up in the cupboard of my kitchen. That way whenever I'm gone, if I can check on my dogs. And of course I think it's just safe for everybody to have a camera in their home, away from home. So I have one in my kitchen and in the cupboard. So I can see like the kitchen area, the front door if anybody was to come in, and kind of the living room area where, my dogs will sit on the couch and stuff. All
right. So you were actually looking over your footage, right? Tell me what happened and what did you see?
Well, I was actually, I wasn't even at the house. I had left the house around 8:30 p.m. It was a Friday night. Went to a friend's place, stayed the night. So I was actually the next morning, I always like to, when I'm gone, I look over the footage. And I didn't have any notifications because if there's anything that will move in the house or whatever, even a little plant next to it or a fly, I get a notification on my Apple Watch, on my phone. And I had not gotten any notifications at all the whole time I was gone. I thought that was kind of odd, even if the dogs bark or whatever. So I was looking through the timeline, and I was kind of scrolling where the video will they'll move fast. So I was just looking down at it, and I noticed there was my eyes noticed like something changed, and it was something on the table. It was like it was white and it was there, and then I was kind of scrolling fast and then it was gone, but there was no notification that there was any movement. So that's when I noticed that there was some activity in the house, and no one is there but the dogs. Obviously in the video, they're on their side of the house sleeping, so they're not even anywhere in the video. So that's whenever I kind of went back on the timeline to see what time the movement started, and then that's how I found out that there's something there, moving something across the table.
Yes, and funny, Mel just showed me the video, And it is pretty impressive to see a video where you just see it was what, about a Walmart bag.
Yeah, it was 2 Walmart bags that I had placed on the table the night before I left around 8 p.m. and they're both on the edge of the table. Kind of, they're one's placed on top of the other. There is an air conditioning vent that's kind of close by and a ceiling fan in the kitchen that were both it was on. But what was weird to me was at 8 p.m. when the bags were in the video will show when the bags were placed there. There was absolutely no movement, not even the side of the bag, either one of the bags that were empty, for 9 hours, and then suddenly at 6:08 a.m. one starts to shift, and it doesn't shift across the table like it's air moving or like a fan. There's no, it's being lifted from the bottom, and the way it's being moved is like it should have just maybe went off the table, like kind of almost right then, but it stays and goes directly across the table. It even gets kind of caught onto my candle holder, and it makes its way around that. And then when it gets to the edge of the table on the other side, it sits there for a good minute. It takes about 45 minutes for it to completely fall to the floor. It's lifted from the opposite side that even the air conditioning vent and the fan is on. It lifts several times from the bottom on the other side, and you can clearly see it. But when all this was going on, the ceiling above where my couch is in the living room had these 2 extremely dark areas. It almost looks like, like if your ceiling is wet, and then from a distance on a video, it's, like saturated spots.
Like 2 black holes.
2 black holes, and they start out. It starts out with nothing, and there's no TV on. There's one lamp on the back end of the house, but the night vision camera, the way it makes it look like the room's lit up, but there's no lights on. And so this dark area, it progressively gets darker throughout the night. And then once the bag finally hits the floor, in the video you can see where the grout area starts getting these black specks, not just in the area where the bag fell, but kind of a little bit away from it. So the camera is picking up some type of static activity near the bag, but it's like black spots. Almost from the camera, it looks like it's like black bugs, but it's some kind of static in that area. And the ceiling is still dark. And then the sun, when it starts to come up, the sun's completely up. The spots are still there, but you'll see that it fades out. And you can see the video footage now live or the night after that, and there's no dark area. And
yeah, and right now I put it into my editing software, and I zoomed in and I kind of changed the colors. I gave it like a contrast, and we're seeing like so much movement. Like if there was wind, like this would be like if we were filming something that, let's say a forest or something, that was wind and stuff, you would catch it. But this is a static, we see the regular video without the contrast and moving the colors and the zoom in to the tile where the bag fell. We spot it, like, it's weird. I mean, I don't know if we're seeing things, but it's like you can see like a spirit, like a head, or you can see a woman. They're right around here.
Yeah, the woman looks like she's facing him, and then it's clear to me as daylight that it's an image of a silhouette of his head. The area that you're looking at is a complete white tile floor that doesn't have anything there. If you can see in the video, it's a complete empty floor, and then obviously it'll end, and then it starts the wood floor. But the area that we're looking at is completely clean. There's nothing there. So the things that your software is picking up now is bizarre, because in reality there's nothing there. And it also looks, this is the under my bathroom door. You can see there's light that's coming from underneath my bathroom door because it's closed, but there's no light on.
Yeah, it's totally. There's a lot of action going on here. Like if there was wind and yeah. When you were watching this for the first time, what were your thoughts? You were alone in the house.
Well, I wasn't actually home yet whenever I saw the footage. I started watching it like right before I pulled in my driveway because, like I said, I was gone. I left around 8:30 p.m. the night before, and it was about 9 a.m. or so whenever I was driving home, and was kind of scrolling through the footage. Not while driving, no, but I pulled in the driveway of the house and I parked on the side because I was going to wash my car, and when I was looking through and I saw like there was something white on the table and then there wasn't, that's what made me go back and look at it. I sat in the car for a good hour, just like
Digesting the whole thing.
yeah, because you always hear about these things on TV. I'm a firm believer, and yes, I do believe there's spirits out there, good, bad. I believe in on all that. But to actually see it, and I know that there's nobody at the house. I know that, when it's your own home and you see this, it's like, okay, so my brothers aren't there. There's no way that anybody's playing any type of trick on me. There's nobody in the house. And so it was just like, okay, is the bag, okay, it must have just blown off. But no, it's obvious. It sat there for 9 hours. The bag that it was laying on, it doesn't budge whatsoever. And then the dark area on the ceiling, I cannot explain that. It's not there now. And that's the only time on the footage you can look back at the night before that, or even after, and there's no dark area and nothing's been moved in the living room. I've had friends over this past weekend that saw the video, and they're looking at the ceiling. They're like, it's impossible. Like, where was that? It's not a reflection off of anything because there's nothing there. It's complete open floor below it, and the ceiling is like snow white during the day, so there's no dark area. So that's what was kind of concerning to me too. So I've always been told to never let spirits feel like that you have fear of them. In fact, it's more the opposite. They fear us, the living, more than we fear them. So I've asked a friend. I haven't told too many people about this. Maybe 3 people, and one of them works with a lady that knows all about this, and she said that she to not be scared and don't feel like you have to leave your home, but if it was something that was going to hurt me, it would have already hurt me. But yeah, I'm having trouble sleeping at night. I'm not going to lie.
And when you were watching this footage, you were right in front of your house, about to go in, and you were alone in the house?
Yeah, I was alone in the house, and my dogs, and no, it was.
You walked in, and what was the first thing you did?
I looked to see where the bag was that fell on the floor, and my newest dog had shredded it to pieces, or something had shredded it to pieces, but it was all chewed up on the floor.
Does the dog usually do that?
Yeah, he's okay. Chews up stuff. So I took the dustpan and I just sweeped it up and threw it in the trash. It was.
Did you throw the trash out of the house, or you left it there?
I didn't throw it out of the trash. I mean, I didn't throw it out.
I would have thrown it.
I didn't get anything done that day. And I sat at that table, on the end of the table, where the bag had moved. I sat there, and that's whenever I went through the whole Nest Cam thing again. But I went online, and I wanted to try to download the footage. I'd never done that before. That particular footage somehow to my account, so I would have it to look back on, just in case because, of course, I'm doubting myself. I'm like, okay, I'm not like, sleep deprived. I had a full night's sleep. There's nothing going on with me mentally to where I would just be wanting to make something like this up. But, of course, I completely was doubting myself. So
as of now, you don't feel at ease at your house?
I think I'm trying to pretend that I'm not feeling a certain way. But, yes, I feel kind of stuck, like, I try not to be scared, but like when I go to my bedroom, I run to the bed because I'm scared something's going to grab my feet. As I won't lay with my feet hanging over the bed or anything. And I'm continually watching the dog's behavior, both of them, to see if like they're looking in the air, like to see, if they see something. They haven't had any type of weird they haven't been acting weird at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am very. I just feel like weird.
All right, Mel, we're going to need some help here. I'm going to call psychic and medium Alexis Reyes, who also finds people for the FBI. She's been on the show before. And her husband, Kike, who is a specialist for paranormal activity, is also going to join us. And let's see what they have to say about this video. I already texted them the video. They texted me they already saw it while we were having this interview. So let's see what they say.
The first thing that came to mind is usually you have to, alienate the causes of a haunting. Haunting is usually related to the land, a home, or the person, sort of a death in the family or any suicides.
Also, there's things that can cause these things to happen as well. Like he was saying, like suicide, bad blood in family. There can also be factors in people's different religion that can cause these things to happen.
Okay. You do have a best friend who years ago committed suicide, correct?
Yes. It's been 2016. Yeah, it was a murder-suicide. They accused him of killing a man and then driving 20 minutes, killing his mother and killing his 10-year-old sister, which he would just, I can't ever see him doing, and then killing himself. It was a drug deal gone bad, but I feel like somebody either followed him to the house and forced him to shoot his family, or, he shot them because he knew that they were going to come do it themselves,
Okay.
So.
Let me interrupt you then. So let me get this right. He shot his mother.
He shot a man, one of his friends, in the chest twice, and then got in his car and drove to his mother's where he lived. He had just moved back in with his mom, and he walked in with a big shotgun and he shot and killed her, and then he went to the sister's room and killed her, and then turned the gun on himself. And
that will change the whole dynamic of this. Is a much deeper case, and it's this is a little scary. I mean, my husband can explain a little bit more about it than I can. In that aspect, I just see the psychic part of it.
They first start with thoughts, and that's an energy. So when you feel them around you, it's just translating your mind, you seeing it from that energy, the thoughts, and putting things into your mind. So pretty much the energy of the spirit, depending on who he is or what he's done or all of his feelings, may be transferred onto you, being somebody that had contact in a human form. Mm-hmm. So the effect is happening to you itself because you're actually also thinking a lot about him. So that calls them.
Like she's calling him because of her thoughts?
Right. That calls them on to, to you. It's like a door. They feel the sense of, somebody misses me.
So have you been thinking about this person prior to this happening?
It used to be a lot, but I've not as much lately, but he does cross my mind because it's going to be coming up on the anniversary, Thanksgiving weekend.
Special occasions like that and things that are happening may be a factor to what's going on as well, like the anniversary. The depth of what happened, what he did, all those things have a big, because what did happen, how it got moved, when I saw the video, that was a very intense and very powerful energy. It's an entity, not so much as an energy, because he made this happen in that sense. But there's a few factors that could have made this so strong. The fact of the interview, the fact that his anniversary is coming up. The other fact that
our birthdays are coming up, and when he died, we had plans to do our birthday parties together.
Could you give me your date of birth? Is that something that we can do?
My date of birth is December 1st, 1979.
Okay, he's also giving you a clue that has some. Okay, remember, entities can also become a little bit jealous, can become a little bit possessive. There's something that's giving him a little bit of jealousy and possessiveness. There's nothing that can trigger him to feel a little bit more on a possessive side.
Not that I can think of.
Okay, keep that in mind, because it seems like he wants to let you know something. There's 100% that he wants to let you know something. When that is happening, it's usually because something may not be going its best. Maybe something is something that you're questioning, but it's something on that aspect. That I can tell you 100%.
Okay.
Everybody who's been in that house is the normal people that are in that house. Nothing has changed. There's no one new.
No, no one knew. The roommate that I have, his wife passed away in 2015 of cancer, and I know that he's been kind of, sad about that. He's just kind of lonely by himself. But other than that, I haven't had any changes.
Mel, and everything and anything that could cause these things to happen, it's what's related in that house. If you wanted to call a spirit to do something, your surroundings and you have the perfect concussion for it.
Okay.
The death of your friend that has been, that the suicide thing, then the whole thing with the person that lives there with his wife passing away. So it's almost like everybody in that house has someone in the other side closely that they're close to. That, you know what I mean? Like the energy would be stronger than the norm.
Yes.
If that makes any sense.
Yes, it does.
Okay. I would honestly go and I would honestly do like some kind of, and I say this with a very, I want to say very pure cleaning. I wouldn't want to tell you to go and have somebody with a religion go in there. Something very mild, something like with sage, something with opening the windows. It's good that you do it, but it's also good that someone professional that knows what they're doing does it.
Okay.
Because it's not the same thing as cutting your bangs or having a haircut.
Okay.
It's totally two different things. There's definitely something in there that's a little stronger than meets than what we're even. I don't want you to get scared or anything like that, but there is definitely something a little stronger. I will set some time and go with my husband. He has things that he can find out a little more because there's gadgets. And we can sage and see where the energy's coming from and the level of the energy and all that. That can help you.
So the darkness on the ceiling, there from the video, it might look like there's something like below it, but it's just an open floor, and I've never seen it. I mean, you could log in and look at the camera now, and there's nothing. There's nothing on the ceiling. That's the only time I've ever seen that dark area like that. Do you think that could possibly have something to do with this? I've never seen it before or after that.
Before or after, you've never seen it?
No. Yeah, I mean, there's not any, it's the night vision camera, and the only thing that's on is the lamp behind the couch, which is a good bit of ways from it.
Yeah, but there's your answer. It's not a coincidence,
Yeah.
It's there, as it's, manifesting itself and doing, what it does. It's just like I said, it's mysteries of things, I mean, there's people that seen spirits clinging to ceilings and, children even, claiming they've seen things. I mean, There's so many ways that they express themselves and they do things that you don't really know how to pinpoint it, and there's no solid answers to none of those things.
But certainly that it's aware that I was recording. These things.
That ain't no purpose. Yeah, that was done for purpose for you to see.
That's what I was going to tell you. That's something that they know.
Right. But they know the cameras are there. They know what they're doing with that sense. They're always ahead when it comes to that. We're the ones who think they're, if they want to communicate with gadgets itself, they can either choose not to because they either like you or they don't like the person that's doing that, or they just don't want to. Or what they do, if they're going to have something to say, they'll express themselves. And they know ahead of time who's going to be there, how it's going to unfold. That they do know.
But that's why I'm saying, Mel, like it could be a jealous entity. It could be something this person wants to aware you about. it could be so many things in that aspect, but knowing that you're taping, they're sending you a message. It's like they're wanting you to wake up, and it's what they did is a little stronger than the average paranormal, just so you know. When I saw the video, it's one of the most vivid videos that I've seen. Am I mistaken, babe? I'm sorry.
No, it's very good evidence. It's right there. It's there, you know.
It's trying to say a statement, and it's definitely trying to tell you something.
Is it something that it'll probably continue to do at times, just in different ways?
Yes, it will. It will continue. He needs a lot of light. He didn't only commit suicide. A lot of things that as an entity, he did the worst that he could to keep him at a place where he's stuck in time.
Right.
So this is what I meant about when you feel the thoughts. Sometimes you feel their own energy. You know, you feel like you get pretty much very dark thoughts of things, but it's based because of their own energy. Not necessarily that they're putting that to your mind. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, they're trying to manipulate remember, entities also can manipulate your thoughts, can manipulate energy.
Right. But you're also picking up on the feeling of the person that's around you. Just like you would pick up of somebody's energy, even if they're not dead. They're like, oh, I feel a very bad vibe from this person.
Do you think that the purpose for this is to hurt me in some way, or?
No. No,
okay.
I don't think it's to hurt you, but he can't bring you anything good.
Right, because he's carrying that weight.
Right.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, let's say, I'm going to use, let's say he had a death, that it wasn't suicide, and he was the one that was killed, or there was a death of something that happened that was, out of his will. The entity that would have done that would have been a totally different one.
Okay.
Because he can't be mad. What happens is they get stuck in time. They get stuck. So they don't go where they're supposed to go because of what was done.
Okay.
So they're going to bother you a little more. The bothering can be, remember, the deeper the crime, the more they have done, and the more sins that took them out,
the more afraid they are to cross over.
Exactly. But there's someone very spiritual around you, though.
What's that?
That you have someone that's very spiritual around you. Maybe not fully developed now, but as they grow up, they're going to get very spiritual.
Okay.
It could be, I don't know if you have any children, I don't know.
I believe you're probably speaking about my son, because it's funny you say that, because he was just talking to me last night. He just turned 11 the day before yesterday, but the way he was talking, I said, where did you learn all this? And he was telling me how to behave with animals and treat them like humans, and he's very sensitive, but it was cute the way he was telling me. So that must be who you're picking up with that.
Yes, and he's a very spiritual kid. Give him some time, because he's going to create his own spirituality. Spirituality is based, and God gives it to you only when he's taken something away from you.
Okay.
So maybe he has a sense that he feels different. Maybe he has a sense that he feels like the oddball, or he could be this person that is like all this is to like his reading or minority. There's something with this child that's very special, that the spirituality will grow big time in a good way.
Okay.
And that's not bad. That is really good.
Yeah, he's definitely a different from the other kids. He knows that.
They come back because they just want to let you know that they miss you, or they want to let you know something. These are entities that stay stuck for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes you don't even have to do anything completely wrong. If something that wasn't their time, there's, they cause activity as well. But, in cases like this, there's...
I know that before he passed, he just kind of like started acting very weird, and he would show up to places with he'd come to dinner with a Bible, and I remember our group of friends were just like, that's odd, why would he come to dinner with the Bible like that, like just weeks before all this happened. So I think
he spiritual?
Well, he lived in Miami, and then to better his life and he got kind of went down a bad track, so he moved back to Atlanta and lived with his mother, and they went to church. He went to church with his mother every weekend. I mean, we would be at an after-hours party, and he would leave the after-hours to go to church, take his mom to church, and then come back. You know, he went from 0 to 100, you know, quick with that.
I would give this gentleman some kind of more light. He obviously needs it because, I mean, his departure wasn't the most normal one. And that's, from a psychic's point of view, that's probably why he's bothering.
Okay.
So yeah, if the house needs cleansing or whatever, try those methods first, and you gotta see how things start reacting. If maybe he'll go away in peace, who knows? Just try the cleansing and all that, and then you could resort to other things, but you gotta keep trying until you succeed.
With spirituality and these kind of things, there is no manual. It's the unknown. This is why everybody's so into it and so attracted to it, because everybody wants to know this mystic results. The truth is, there really isn't a manual. There's no right or wrong way.
Okay. He's not doing it in a way because he wants to scare me or anything. It's just
no, and I don't think he wants to scare you now, but
sometimes they know how to do things a certain way.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, like I said, the way that he passed isn't
the best.
It wasn't the best.
All right, this episode has been a pretty heavy episode, Mel. I really wish you well. I know you're going to be okay. Follow those directions that Alexis and Kike gave you. And if any of you out there are dealing with any paranormal activity, you can contact Alexis and Kike. Guys, where can people reach you?
Office is Alexis Psychic Boutique, and my phone number is 786-338-5861. I do professional readings, and my husband helps in the aspect of the ghost hunting department, which I'm terrified of, but he does it.
Thank you both for being on the show. Thank you, Mel, for sharing your story, and I hope this really helps you, and everything could get sorted out and all those energies in your house be gone and you could be at peace. I want to thank all my listeners for listening. If you want to go see the video, you can watch it on our social media. On Facebook, it's Pod With Me AJA, and on Instagram is Pod With Me. Please comment on the video. I want to see what you guys think and get other opinions, and hit like on the page. Follow us. Thank you so much. Until next time,
don't fall off the pod.
This was a special edition of Pod With Me.
Ready.
For more on Pod With Me, you can go right now to your app stores and download Pod With Me. We have our very own app. And follow us on social media. On Facebook, we're Pod With Me AJA. On Instagram, we're Pod With Me. If you have something important to share and you want to do it on the pod, you can email me at alex@ajacreativemedia.com. That's alex@ajacreativemedia.com. Until next time, don't fall off the pod.
Ready.